Hello and welcome to the discourse. Today we are going to discuss a very interesting topic, and that is figures of speech. A figure of speech is a literary tool that can be used to make a writing or speech more appealing, interesting and entertaining. Often writers use figures of speech in their prose and verses. A figure of speech is a word or phrase made of figurative language. Now what is figurative language? A figurative language is one that is used to mean something else other than its normal meaning. That is, figures of speech offers an implied or suggested meaning. We can categorize language as literal language and figurative language. Literal language is used to offer real, exact meanings of words and phrases. Figurative language relies on implicated or suggested meaning. As for example, the sky is blue. Now this sentence is an example of literal language. In this, the sky is appearing blue and it is literal, it is real. On the other hand, the sentence I am feeling blue. This is an example of figurative language. It doesn't mean that I am feeling blue in color. Rather, it may mean that I am feeling sick or tired. So figures of speech are also called as rhetorical figures. It is an intentional deviation or change from normal language, and it offers a rhetorical effect. Now what is rhetorical effect? It is the art of persuasion which is used in a discourse. The three major parts of any discourse are grammar, logic and rhetoric. By rhetoric, we mean the power of written or spoken words and phrases that make a reader or listener feel of exactly what is meant by that word or phrase. Figures of speech are used in a huge portion by any language. The purpose of figures of speech is to make the language more entertaining, endearing, expressive and creative. Rhetorical techniques are used to create and develop a number of figures of speech, from common slangs and sarcasm to more specific forms of figures of speech, such as metaphors, similes, and idioms. There are many forms or types of figures of speech that are being used from thousands of years, and many are being developed every day. We will discuss some important types of figures of speech, and these are alliteration, anaphora, assonance, euphemism, hyperbole, idioms, irony, metaphor, onomatopoeia, oxymoron, personification, simile, synecdoche, and understatement. We will discuss all of these one by one. The first one is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of the beginning sounds of adjacent words in a phrase. Examples are: she sells seashells. Blue baby bonnets popped through the bow. Walter wondered where Winnie was. Nick needed new notebook. Now in all these sentences, alliteration is being used. The beginning sound of each of the words in these sentences is same. The next figure of speech is anaphora. It is a technique in which many phrases or verses begin with same word or words. Examples are veni, vidi, vici. I came, I saw, I conquered. Now in this sentence, each of the phrases beginning with I. Again, mad word, mad kings, mad composition. Again, this is a very famous dialogue from a drama of Shakespeare titled King John II. The first example was from Julius Caesar. It is again a drama. The third example is, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. Now in this example, two words are being repeated in each phrase, and those words are it was. So it is a case of anaphora. This example has been taken from A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. Another example is, with malice towards no one, with charity for all, with firmness in the right. This example is from a speech of Abraham Lincoln. Again, We shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall never surrender. It is an example from the speech of Winston Churchill. In this example, we have used we shall again and again. So it is a case of anaphora. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds, not just letter but the vowel sound in close words in a phrase. The vowel sound may appear anywhere in the word, not necessarily at the beginning. For example, for the rare and radiant maiden whom the angels named Lenore. Now in this example, A is being used, the sound A, which is a vowel sound, is being used again and again. Another example is, therefore, all seasons should be sweet to thee. Now in this sentence, seasons is giving the sound of E, sweet again the sound of E, and thee again the sound of E. So it is the case of assonance. This example is taken from Coleridge. Now let us see the case of I. From what I have tasted of desire, I hold with those who favor fire. Now in this sentence, I is appearing in desire, again I, and it is again appearing in fire. This example has been taken from the famous poem Fire and Ice by Robert Frost. Now the case of O. O hear, old Triton blow his wrath horn. This example is taken from The Word is Too Much With Us by Wordsworth. Uncertain rustling of each purple curtain. Again, in this example of assonance, the sound of U is repeating. This example is taken from The Raven, a prose by Edward Allan Poe. The next case is of euphemism. Suppose you want to express a very harsh feeling or fact, but you do not want to sound that harsh. Rather, the aim is to offer the expression mildly. Then we use euphemism. It is the use of a mild, indirect, vague term to express a harsh, offensive, or blunt term. Examples are a little thin on top. Instead of saying going bald, you may say you are going a little thin on top. Again, letting you go. Instead of saying I am firing you, you may say I am letting you go. Pink slip is used instead of letter of dismissal from employment. Passed away instead of died. Instead of saying someone died, we may say he passed away. Economical with the truth. Instead of saying that someone is a liar, he is telling a lie, we may say he is being economical with the truth. Ethnic cleansing. Instead of using the word genocide, which is very harsh, we may say ethnic cleansing. Put to sleep. Instead of saying someone is being euthanized, we may say we put to sleep. The next case is of hyperbole. It is a figure of speech and it is used to emphasize on something strongly or to exaggerate the effect of some word or statement. Examples are, I have told you to stop 1,000 times. Now it is not necessary that someone said something 1,000 times, but they use the term 1,000 times. That must have cost $1 billion. Or I could do this forever. Now if I am liking something, so I may say I could do this forever. She is older than dirt. What we mean is she is very old. Everybody knows that. It is not necessary that everybody knows it, but it is a common knowledge. Idiom. Now idiom is a figure of speech. It is a phrase with different figurative meaning. Generally, the figurative meaning of an idiom is well known to everybody. Examples are, it's raining cats and dogs. When it is raining very harsh, very strongly it is raining, then we may say it's raining cats and dogs. Break a leg. When someone starts something, then to wish him good luck, we say break a leg. We have discussed many idioms in our previous videos. The next case of figure of speech is irony. It is a figure of speech, a literary tool in which a word or phrase is used in such a way that its figurative meaning is exactly opposite to its literal meaning. Suppose you ate a really bad grape. Its taste was bad, but you commented, wow, that was the nicest grape I ever had. Here it is irony seeming like sarcasm. However, Irony may also be used without sarcasm. Examples of irony are, how nice, she said when I told her I had to work all weekend. It is an example of verbal irony. A traffic cop gets suspended for not paying his parking tickets. It's a situational irony. The Titanic was said to be unsinkable, but it sank on its first voyage. Situational irony. Naming a tiny chihuahua Brutus. It is an example of verbal irony. Generally, Brutus is given to a man or a thing which is giant, which is very strong. But Chihuahua is a dog which is very tiny. The next case of figure of speech is metaphor. It is the kind of figure of speech that are very common. Many figures of speech are metaphors because by definition, a figure of speech is a word or phrase whose actual meaning is different than its literal meaning. However, in case of metaphor, we use figurative tools to compare unrelated things or ideas. As for example, at the peak of her career. Now career is no mountain that can have a peak, but we use at the peak of her career. It is a metaphor. Again, heart of stone. Now no heart can be of stone. Time is money. The world is a stage. She is a night owl. He is an ogre. He is a shining star. Kisses are the flowers of affection. All these are examples of metaphor. The next figure of speech is onomatopoeia. Sometimes we use words of no literal meaning. They have no meaning, but they resemble the sound that is meant. So onomatopoeia are words that resembles the sound that is meant. Example: whoosh, splat, buzz, click, oink, dishum. You may have seen these examples in various comic books. The next case of figure of speech is oxymoron. Oxymoron is the use of two words with opposite or contradictory meaning. Examples are peace force or old news. Now a force or a battalion cannot be for peace. Battalions are to fight, but we use the term peace force, so it is oxymoron. Old news. News by definition is something breaking, something new, but we use old news. It is oxymoron. Kosher ham. Small crowd. By definition, crowd is a gathering of a large gathering of people where there are many people. But the term small crowd is oxymoron. Jumbo shrimp. Definitely possible. Now possible cannot be definite. Either a thing is possible or it is definite. But we use the term definitely possible and it is oxymoron. Sweet sorrow. Sorrow cannot be sweet, but the term sweet sorrow is oxymoron. Little giant. Giant is something big, but little giant, it is oxymoron. Free market. Act naturally. Now, natural is not acting, but we use the term act naturally. Act is artificial, but we use act naturally as an oxymoron. Another case of figure of speech is personification. Personification is the assumption of offering human feelings or gender to a non-living thing or neuter gender. There are some rules of personification that we discussed during our discourse on gender. Basically, when we treat a neuter gender as a male or female, it is personification. Examples of personification are: the flowers nodded, the snowflakes danced, the thunder grumbled, the fog crept in, the wind howled. The next case of figure of speech is simile. Like a metaphor, simile compares two unlike things. However, in case of simile, we use words like or as slippery as an eel, like peas in a pod, as blind as a bat, eats like a pig, as wise as an owl. The next case of figure of speech is synecdoche. Synecdoche is a term used to represent a part as a whole of a system or a whole as a part of the system. Examples are: instead of saying a car, we may say wheels. Instead of saying one policeman, we may say the police. Instead of using the term credit cards, we may say plastic. Instead of naming any cola drink, we may use common term Coke. Instead of saying workers, we may use hired hands. So these are examples of synecdoche. The last case of figure of speech that we will discuss is understatement. Understatement is used when some phrase is said to reduce the seriousness or importance of something. Now in case of euphemism, we use terms to reduce the harshness of an act or thing or fact. In case of understatement, we reduce the worth of it. Examples: it's just a scratch. Referring to a large dent on your car, you may say it's just a scratch. So you have understated it. It's a little dry and sandy. When you are referring to the driest of desert in the world and you are saying it's a little dry and sandy. The weather is cooler today, referring to sub-zero temperatures. It was interesting, referring to a bad or difficult experience. It stings a bit, referring to a serious wound or injury. So this was all about the figures of speech. As is shown in the examples, figures of speech increase the quality of the writing. They express creativity. We have discussed some important types of figures of speech. Stay connected with the discourse. Thanks and regards.